Hello, everybody, and welcome to this month's Google Hangout. I am Veena Khandke, the Director of Grants and Partnerships at Dining for Women. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce all our guests today. We have from Washington, D.C., we have Angelique Kidjo from the Batonga Foundation. Hi, Angelique.
Hi.
And she is joined by Stephanie Lord, who is the Executive Director of the Batonga Foundation. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi.
And we have Amy here on our side, who is going to manage the technical aspect of this Google Hangout. So let me first ask the question and address you, Angelique. Most people know you. You're very, very famous, multi-Grammy awardee. You are considered one of the most influential women by Forbes magazine in Africa. So tell us, how did you start the Batonga Foundation?
Thanks for giving me this opportunity. I started Batonga Foundation actually by question of mothers. As a goodwill ambassador of UNICEF, my assignment that I chose was girls empowerment and women empowerment in girls education. And in a village in Tanzania, a mother comes to me and said to me, we've seen your PSA for radio and TV about putting our girls to primary education. But you know very well that if they finish primary education and they don't have access to secondary education, they're going to end up in early marriage. And then it hit me like a boomerang. And I said to myself, when I came back to New York, how am I going to answer that anxiety of mothers that want the girls to have a different faith than them? And I start talking to friends, and they put me in contact with Marie-Louise Cohen, the co-founder of Batonga that you met. And we decided that we're going to start something, to do something in education, secondary education. And we came up with our blueprint. We said we're going to reach out to the girls that are in the poorest villages, that are the poorest of the poorest. If they live alone or with the family, if they're orphans or of HIV/AIDS, or if they're orphans, period, and to give them tutoring, mentoring, scholarship, uniform, books, and 1 meal a day. Because I wanted a holistic approach of education. And of course, people didn't believe it was gonna work, because everybody was telling me when we started in 2007 that I was gonna fail and that it was very hard. And my answer to the people was, if it's easy, why bother? So that's how Batonga started.
Okay. Well, Stephanie, I believe you have a presentation that you can share with us to tell us more details of what the programming is.
Wonderful. So I'd love to just take a moment to share how Dining for Women is helping Batonga in our work. So you may or may not know that our mission statement is to equip the hardest to reach girls and women with the knowledge and skills they need to be agents of change in their own lives and in their communities. And the way that we're doing that is following a LEAP methodology. So this is an acronym that we actually made up to explain the way that we work. And the way that we do that is first working to locate girls. So we use a girl roster digital survey and mapping tool, which is an Android-based cell phone app developed by the Population Council to locate Benin's most vulnerable adolescent girls. And again, Dining for Women is supporting us in this important work of going door to door, asking questions that help us to identify the girls who need our support most. So we're especially interested in finding the girls who are behind grade for age or dropped out of school completely before the age of 18, living with one or fewer parents, or who are married or have had children before the age of 18. We also use the girl roster to help us to recruit and then eventually train local female mentors and a girl-centered participatory approach that we use in our clubs. So our clubs look very different from what you might see in the formal education system with a teacher standing in front of a class lecturing. Our clubs are very active and fun and more activity-based than that. So it makes it a really fun place for the girls to learn. And that brings me to this picture, which is a group of surveyors using the girl roster tool in a community to go door to door and gather this information. Again, it's a very non-sensitive, quick survey. And if you have a team of about 10 people, you'd be able to map a community of 5,000 people in one day. And when you get back at the end of the day, all of this wonderful data would be uploaded into a system where we're able to see what we're dealing with in that community in terms of the challenges that these different girls are facing. Step 2 is empower and equip. So after we have located the girls that we hope to reach through programming, we establish girls clubs as safe spaces. And essentially, that means places where girls feel physically and emotionally safe to learn, grow, and express themselves without fear of judgment or harm. And we work in partnership with Aflatoon International who has helped us to develop and implement a curriculum that we use in the clubs that focuses on financial literacy and life skills. And we also train the girls in the clubs in entrepreneurship skills so that they can start small businesses, such as making soap and baked goods. We have a photo here of a club of girls that is working on their business, which is involving baked goods. Step 3 is our Adolescent Girls Learning Center circle. And you'll see here a map of Benin, which shows the various locations of some of our partners that we work with through the Learning Circle. And what we do is we bring a group of diverse NGOs together on a bi-monthly basis to share knowledge, data, and best practices. And the reason why we're doing this is so that we can really coordinate our approaches and avoid duplication of efforts and make sure that we're working together hand in hand to promote adolescent girls' education and development at a countrywide level. And finally, step 4 is program expansion. You'll see this image here on the screen that was also developed in partnership with Population Council that shows the way that we expand, which is sort of identifying an area of high need and then scaling through what's called spider scaling. So reaching out to nearby communities that are close to the original area. And the way that that works is it really helps us to leverage existing partnerships and relationships, and also to save time and resources when we're doing training and monitoring and evaluation. Moving forward, when we're thinking about expansion, we hope to add additional clubs for girls aged 10 to 14. We also would love to expand solar technology so that the girls can create more small businesses using solar technology. So for example, having more solar-powered cell phone charging stations. And finally, we'd like to expand to additional high-need villages. Our progress to date, a few things here that I'd like to quickly highlight is that we've been able to map, and thanks so much to the support of Dining for Women that has helped us reach these goals, 21 villages to date using the Girl Roster Survey. We've identified 2,115 girls who are considered vulnerable or off track. And we've also been able to engage an overwhelming number of community leaders in our work. In terms of the initial goals that we had set for ourselves, we were very, very happy to see that the number of girls reporting that their future prospects have improved reached 97.6%. 94.3% had reported increases in their cognitive skills, for example, literacy, numeracy, and or financial literacy. And also, if you look in the bottom right corner, we had 100% of our girls in our clubs that were active in income generating activities. For example, the baking that you saw earlier. And I'd love to turn it over now for questions, and thank you so much, Vina.
Stephanie, thank you so much for your presentation. Clearly, you are trying to expand into a large area, but I'm really curious to hear about what your interactions are with the family, because you are, kind of approaching the families with your Girl Roster project, and how has that interaction been?
I think that the interaction have been very amazing, because I was there in Benin last year in October, especially the day of the Adolescent girls. And I come to tears to see what we are doing together with your help. We are starting a movement that I've never dreamed to see during my lifetime, is that we empower the girls to come up with their own message. And the self-confidence that I see, I didn't see that when I started in 2007. And that was my worry. How can we get the girl engaged to hear from them to a deeper level, to make a profound change in their lives, and then they can become agents of change themselves in their community. I was sitting down there going to myself, my God, help me deal with this emotion I'm going through. And you have all the elderly of the village seeing this and not realizing that the movement have started. The girl came up with message against sexual abuse, sexual harassment. No one pulled them by the hair anymore. No one touched their breast without their consent anymore. And I have a girl that said to me that day, I don't want my girlfriend to continue bleaching the skin. That's why I came here. I wanted a place where my dark skin is not a liability for me, that I can express myself. And now I'm promising you, Angelique and Batonga, that I'm gonna go around all my girls that are doing the bleaching. I'm gonna bring them here for them to realize that bleaching the skin is not what gives you self-confidence, but is what you create. And that's how you touch the family, because you have the villages coming up with us. And what I've seen also when I was there is that poor village, I mean, what I'm talking about, you gotta see it, is so poor that for the whole community to donate one room where people can sit, sleep, and live in for the girls' solar business is a lot for the community. It's like you asking them to give you $500,000 that they don't have. And I like the fact that all of them, the women and the men of those communities, are helping Batonga and helping the mentors and the girls have that kind of security, comfort, confidence, because that's how we build a new Africa.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you're confirming something that we see consistently at Dining for Women, which is when you give young girls a safe space to speak, a safe space to express themselves, you give them confidence, you give them agency, they do respond extremely well.
Absolutely.
Clearly you're getting yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I mean, the thing is that I want people that are going to watch this video to realize is that there's not such a thing as a small donation or a small engagement, because we are talking about human lives. Mm-hmm. What we are facing today, we are responding to it. What makes us an interesting organization is that we are flexible. We go back and we ask, what can we do to improve? How we empower the mentors, the people that work, the people on the ground, the local task force, and the girls from themselves. And they come up and say, okay, we want to do so, but we don't want to do that only. We want to do something else. How we evolve, because the human family evolves every day. There are challenges every day. How do we find partners that accept the fact that we can come back in 6 months from now and say, we are facing this challenge. How do we face it together? And how do we find the means for that challenge to be tackled up on, for us not to jeopardize everything we've worked for before?
Mm-hmm. So in a sense, what is the community asking for next? I mean, what do they want, the families and the young girls?
You were there. Caitlin just come back from Benin, and she come up with a very good idea that we're gonna respond to. You know, everybody needs to be rewarded somehow for the work they do. So the mentor, we need to find a way to send them a note every year and thank them for the work they do. Because without them, we won't have the success that we have. The staff that work for us, we should come up with something. We were thinking about perhaps having a figurine done by an artist in Benin to give it to them, because I don't want people to be discouraged, because I'm not there, and I know that most of them, they are doing this because they love me and they understand my passion for education for the girls, and they know where I stand. And when I come to see them and talk to them, we talk together and we find solutions together. So as an organization, perhaps other organizations don't do that, but we have to find a way to dignify the work that they do and to make them part of the success on the long run. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're doing from now on too.
Yeah. So Angelique, you are a wonderful role model for all these girls in Benin. Clearly the families trust you, the young girls trust you, and they want to be like you. So I'm going to make a special request of you. Would you sing us a song that emphasizes all of this?
Oh, okay, I can sing a song. But what song can be more appropriate than a thanking song to every single person that is helping me in this endeavor to make the girl's life better, or to make this world a better place for women, and in the long term for men too, for men to realize that we are partners in this life. So I'm gonna sing a thanking song, okay? Blewe, blewe, blewe miada kwelo, blewe miada kwelo, blewe. Gaga kumanyona zolio, bleu kumanyona zolio, la doa sikwi tata, bleu. Mau se gomiri ya kwena mia gomenya o, sikwi sine miri ya kwena mia gomenya o. Mina unjo, bido gwera, mina unjo. Mido gwera, bueno kaka mi apoase kwibinyo, bueno kaka mi apoase kwibinyo, ble uye mi ada kwelo, ble uye mi ada kwelo, ble u.
Angelique, from all of us. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you.
That was wonderful.
Thanks for keeping up the women family power alive. We need it more than ever here and abroad. Thank you so much.
We wish you the very best for your project. Stephanie, thank you so much.